Go.
Good morning and welcome to Shamanic Sundays. Hi, Dad.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Hey ho.
Good morning, friends and relatives out there. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We are, as you can see, my dad and I are in two different locations today. You've probably figured that out when we're on the screen together. We're in the same place, and when we're on split screens, we're in two different places. So grateful for the energy and airwaves and devices and technology and people that make this connection possible today for us and for you. And we always like to start Shamanic Sundays with a prayer of gratitude. So, Poppy, you want to start us off today?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Great Spirit, for this breath of life. Thank you for believing in us to give us this sacred breath of life and opportunity to live in this beautiful creation that you manifested. And thank you for our ancestors. We wouldn't be here without you, and honor the ancestors of the land we live on. Thank you for our families and our communities, and thank you for the challenges of our lives in these times, which really, with right relationship, are opportunities to do the work to polish up our stardust so we can wake up, wise up, and live love now. This is the day you give us to show up and do the best we can to live in our integrity and soulfulness and heartfulness and be channels for your healing light and love out into the world for the healing of the sacred hoop. May it be so. Oh.
Oh, thank you. So, I think we're going to shake things up a little bit today. The first thing is,
Shake. I like that shake.
right? Thank you. I've got a little question for you. Not a little question, I have a question for you. And then let's open it up to the folks who are with us live today. If any of you have questions this morning that are presenting themselves that you would like to share. So that may mean that we don't have as much time for a visualization, but let's try this and just see how it feels for everyone. So the first question that I have today is how to make decisions, and specifically how we can bring shamanic principles and wisdom and nature's wisdom into decision making. I feel like I have a hard time making decisions. I like when people say, "Oh, make a pros and cons list." I'm like, I can do that, but I'm so good at seeing both sides. My pros and cons lists always end up exactly even. So I'm not, that doesn't help me. So, so I'd love to hear what you think about, how we can bring shamanic wisdom and nature's wisdom into our decision making in our lives.
Okay. Oh,
Ooh, and one of our relatives in the comments just said regret. So regret is can be tied in with decision making because you could always be like, oh, if I had chosen this path, then this. But if I chose that, then this. So it's
I
both
like that.
the decision making in the moment and also living with the ripple after the decisions.
Okay. Let's drop in here with all of this.
Okay, thank you.
Well, when I think about making decisions, kind of brings the energy back a step behind and before making decisions for clarity about your values, about what I value about feeling. What do I want to feel? What do I respect? And I want to try to live in good relationship and harmony and integrity and authenticity with what the values that I respect and believe in. Because decision making is, whether it's consciously or not, is based on the values that we hold and what we want to accomplish. And do I want to accomplish just for my ego, narcissism and self-inflation and feeding my identity as my ego and its stories? Um, that's wrong, or I shouldn't do it, or it's bad. It's just not going to feed my soul. And so, what do I value? Do I want to make decisions that strengthen my identity with my ego and shoot steroids into its stories and its beliefs and its the crazy making things it can do, my ego? Um, or do I value experiencing something that feeds my soul? And if so, then I need to make my decisions about what to do, what not to do, not in terms of ego considerations, but in terms of serving higher will, serving spirit, instead of my ego's wants and desires. So once I have clarity about my values, what I respect and what I want to have grow in my life, the qualities of consciousness grow in my life, that's a key indicator or a key dynamic in my decision-making process. And when I'm facing a situation, as many times I've been in my life, where, like you say, I gather as much information and data as I can to inform my decision-making. And there's half a dozen on pros, and then there's 6 on the cons. And so I can drive myself crazy trying to make quote unquote the right decision. And then the ego's fears about what if I make the wrong decision, and especially if I'm holding energy of judgment, a mental thought about decisions I made in the past, that I'm holding in a negative judgment. No, that was the wrong decision. I really blew that one. I wish I hadn't have done that. So that's like beating myself up about something in the past that just constricts the pipes and tarnishes the stardust. It makes it hard for the stardust to vibrate with the beauty and power that it always has the potential to do, and that it's trying to do in its purpose, help us polish up our stardust. So if I want suffering, continue to put energy into the thought form of judgment about regret. If I have enough suffering and I want to experience something else, then pull the plug on the thought forms of judgment that form that regret about that decision I made, and instead an open mind to, that's given the information and where I was at the time, that was the best I could do, and it wasn't by accident that I made that decision. And there's medicine still perhaps trying to come through it if I release the judgment and I open to what that might be. So coming back to 6 of one, half dozen of another, and how I can drive myself crazy with that. And so what I've learned over time through struggle and pain and suffering, trying to find the quote unquote right decision, was to accept with humility that I don't know what's for my greatest good, to go down, open door A or go door B, go to the left or the right in the fork of the road. I can have all my thoughts and feelings about it, think I know what I want to do, what might be the right one, not sure, but think. But the truth is, I truly don't know what's for my greatest good, which decision to make. So what gives me peace of mind is to surrender into spirit. That spirit, what's for my greatest good. So I surrender to you. So now in my surrender to you, I don't feel the pressure that I have to make the right decision. Right decision's already made. You know what it is. So what's my job then if it's not to make the right decision or figure out what the right decision is? That burden's been released, but then I have a responsibility to listen with attention, quality attention, and humility and receptivity to all the different levels of my interdimensional being within my energy body and in the field of which I'm living, the energy field of life, of creation, of the world, of community. And just pay attention to what comes back, what information, what data, what experience comes back from the inner field, from the outer field. And that will indicate, so working the muscles of faith and trust, that will indicate which path I should take, the right path, the left path, open door A or door B. So for me, I know how to pay attention. That I know how to do. How to make the right decision, that I don't have a whole lot of confidence in. myself making that decision. But I do have confidence and surrender with faith and trust into Spirit, knowing what's for my greatest good. Spirit gives me this life and gives me the gifts it's given me to develop and the challenges by which to work them and bring them through and share and give them away, which hopefully I'm doing right now, serving Spirit. So I trust, surrender, and pay attention to the signs, the guideposts that come back through the surrender process to Spirit, like signposts saying, green light going off, come this way, this way. Oh yeah, and it's real clear. It's real clear. So I trust the process, and I've been working that process since over 50 years, over half a century. And that's how I make decisions. I turn them over to Spirit. Get my homework, do my homework, gather all the data I can, feed it into the alchemist cauldron, churning and bubbling and gurgling, and then release and surrender and see what arises from the surrender to Spirit with the signs that come, bringing clarity about this decision that's going to serve my fullest blossoming, greatest good. So that's what I do. See how it works for you. Oh.
Sorry about that. I was muted there. Thank you. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, for those who are joining us a little bit later, we also wanted to open up the chat if anyone has questions for today that they are just coming up as we go, and one of our relatives brought up how to live with chronic illness, and that's specific to this person's life, but there are chronic things in our society that we're all living with too. And the word chronic too. I want to look up what the actual, what that, I know what it means, but persisting for a long time, we're constantly recurring. So we all have like some version of that in some way or another, some more severe, some more extreme, some more present some days than others, some more literally life-threatening, debilitating. But that's something that we could all learn from, a little sharing on your wisdom and teachings about how to live with chronic illness.
Okay, well, first I would just want to once again make an adjustment to the wording of what you just said, seeking my wisdom
Okay.
and
Yes.
letting
The
go of that
wisdom that you channel and open up to, and the
Spirit's
teaching.
wisdom, whatever
Yes.
Spirit brings through. I'm more
Yes.
trusting of that than quote
Okay.
unquote my ego thinking has wisdom, letting go of all of
Excellent.
that and just opening. So dealing with conditions that don't go away, that are chronic, that keep reoccurring or just or persistent over time, that are troublesome, that are hurting, that are produce pain and discomfort and all kinds of symptoms, whatever they might be. How to create a response, how to create a relationship with all of that, the sensations, the thoughts and feelings that it triggers, the energy states it triggers, and remembering it's all energy. Thoughts are energy, feelings are energy, sensations are energy, beliefs, stories, all energy. So what we're dealing with, no matter what the situation, be it in our bodies, in the field, in the social environmental field, whatever the energy states are and whatever they're triggering in our response, the question always is, okay, this is the truth of what's happening. How might I be able to create a response to it, a relationship with the truth of what I'm experiencing? So there's no denial. There's no putting makeup and pretty bows on something that's really, really hard and difficult and painful. I'm remembering, what was it, 1993, when I had my back injury and I was in excruciating pain and agony on heavy pain-killing meds, having to go to the emergency room and wished I died before they got me some methadone to reduce the pain in the waiting room and in a gurney with people shrieking all around me, and they were dealing with the people who were bleeding before me because I wasn't bleeding. That pain and that kind of suffering intensity. And I give thanks to my brother Jerry, older brother Jerry Jampolsky, from our many years together, growing our relationship to where he became my spiritual older brother, and we loved each other deeply. He called me in the midst of that pain and suffering when I got home from the hospital, and I'm just burning up with sciatica pain and ruptured discs and this, that, and the other thing. And he just said to me, you know, Tomás, you're not your physical body. You're not your body. You are infinite light. You are infinite love. And then he said, I just want to invite you to say that to yourself, or say it with me. And we just started saying it. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite light. And I am infinite love. And I just kept repeating it over and over again with him. And then he said to me, so after a while, you know, he needed to go to whatever was next for him. He said, so keep working that mantra, and that'll be helpful to you. And he said, I love you. I loved him and thanked him and got off the phone. And I just kept working that mantra. And it didn't magically make everything go away, the pain go away. And all of a sudden I'm in a bliss state and everything's fine and I'm groovy. No, the pain was still there. But I noticed an interesting kind of distancing from the dynamic in which I was identifying myself and my being as the pain unconsciously. And that's reducing my experience of awareness to just the pain. So I noticed as I would repeat the mantra, I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. There's just an easing of connection to identity with that pain and suffering. And my awareness actually started to return to an awake state of freedom from constriction of the ego identity to experiencing. So the pain and the suffering is going on, and there's much more to me. And the much more of me is fine. The much more of me is peaceful. The much more of me is okay. And just opening to experiencing that began to elicit slowly and all of our innate ability to induce our relaxation response instead of the clenching because of the pain, the tightening and the gripping. Ease, breathing ease started to flow through me. And I would let that ease flow down into where the physical sensation of the pain was, into the energy experience of the pain, the burning hot pain. I just let that ease flow down into the pain. And it would begin to soften slowly, just slowly begin to soften. And I begin to experience a deep sense of inner peace as I would continue to chant to myself, I am infinite light. And so I'd say it real slowly, so it's not just mouthing words. I am infinite light. I'm just opening to experience myself as infinite light. What does that feel like? What does it look like inside? I am, and the truth is, I am. I am. What am I? I am infinite, opening to experience what my awareness experiences as infinite. Infinite what? I am infinite love, opening to experience in my awareness infinite love, what it feels like to be connected to be in, to have filling me infinite love. So by slowing down my thought processes, slower breathing, deeper slower breathing, and focusing all my attention on saying these mantras. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. Each word slowly, consciously activating my feeling state associated with that word over and over and over again. It transmutes the energy level of consciousness and takes awareness to a higher level of awareness, a higher level of consciousness. And so then gratitude for what I'm experiencing. Thank you. Thank you for infinite light, this experience of infinite light. Thank you for this experience of infinite love and helping me wake up and wise up and remember the truth of my being. And as long as I'm conscious and alive, with the help of the breath flowing in, bringing in life force fuel, I do have the ability to ask myself that a question to the chronic symptoms of whatever it is I'm experiencing. How can I, in this moment of being alive, which is all I have, the only time I can ever experience whatever I want to experience is ahora, Spanish, right? Sacred now. So holding that truth and awareness, it brings up immediately, well, what do I want to experience as my body is experiencing the sensations of pain and suffering, the symptoms of my chronic condition, whatever it might be. Given all of that, what do I want to experience? Do I want to experience the totality of my being identified just with that pain and suffering, which strengthens it, intensifies it? Or do I want to acknowledge the truth of what is and remember there's more to me, there's way more than me, way more to me of who I am and what I can experience? How can I use what I'm experiencing in the suffering to help me grow in the ways that I want to grow, those qualities of consciousness and being that I want to have grow stronger? Well, I want to grow my faith and trust in you, Great Spirit. I want to grow that stronger. I want to grow my ability to experience inner peace no matter what's going on. I want to grow that ability to connect with that deep inner peace underneath the storm waves and the surface of what's happening. To connect and feel a oneness with the deep inner peace, the serenity, the bliss and joy that comes from opening my mind and deepening and expanding and raising the bandwidths of my awareness to connect consciously, to understand and live from the truth of Alaha, sacred unity, the truth of cosmic love that I am, and to live in this moment with allegria, with joy from the inside out, this joy of being alive in this moment and the ability I'm given to make a conscious choice about how to use the life force energy flowing in with the breath. I'm going to use it to help me grow in the ways that I want to grow, using the challenges and the difficulties, all of it, not wasting a molecule of it, using it all as fuel to empower my ability to help me grow in the ways that I want to grow, to wake up, to wise up, and to notice that no matter what's going on, I can live love now in the midst of it all. And then open up and just listen to the wisdom within you, exploring. Well, so what does it mean to live love now? Asking that question to your deeper self in the midst of the difficulties that you're suffering from the chronic condition. What does it mean to live love now? And surrender and just see what comes back rises into your awareness. And you will get, if you're patient, you pay attention, you let go, breathe in and let go. And just watch with the gift of your awareness what comes into your awareness in response to your question, to the deeper wisdom inside of you. What does it mean? What does it feel like? What does it look like? To wake up, to wise up, and live, love now. So I wish you good listening. I wish us all good listening with respectful, humble attention to the truth of the infinite, cosmic, creating wisdom, power, energy inside of us. We're not separate from the creative power of the universe. We're not separate from it, from nature, from the powers of nature, the manifestations of the great mystery on the physical plane. Opening to the beauty of what we can see with our eyes and what we can't see. The most important forces of the air we breathe, the wind, gravity, love. We can't see them. We can see the effects and feel the effects of them. A reminder of the powers, mysterious powers working beneath what we see with our ordinary consciousness. Sacred mystery, always seeking to work for the greatest good. But in this life, it's not guaranteed. And so that's why Spirit gives us our lives, so we can show up in the challenges of our lives and the challenges of these times and do our part. Every one of us making a difference, do our part to help open the doorway to bring through healing light, transformational energy into the field that needs more, what I call sweet medicine, kindness, tenderness, compassion, courage, creativity, beauty, caring, generosity, showing up to do our part, you and I, to do our part for healing of the sacred who. Gratitude for the gift of being alive, gratitude for the gifts of your life, gratitude to you, Kimberly, for bringing us together here through your vision and for the beautiful wisdom coming through on its way to everybody listening for healing. Hope.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that's, I think we should all practice saying that out loud together. I am infinite light. I am infinite love.
I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite light. I am infinite
Love.
love.
Yeah.
And you are and we are infinite light. And
Yeah.
we are infinite love through grace. So thank you, Great Spirit, for the gifts of grace, making us infinite light and infinite love. Oh.
So now I have a vision of you all. You might be walking down the sidewalk this coming week or driving down the street, sitting in traffic, on a phone call that's frustrating, and whatever the moment is of challenge, being able to just remember that phrase and either say it out loud, or if you're in a situation where it may not be appropriate to actually speak it out loud, to feel yourself saying it within to yourself, and sending that out to other beings that you encounter. I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, Dad, but oftentimes when I'm just going through my daily whatever, like yesterday I went to get a haircut, and as I was walking, to the hair place, I walked by, of course, lots of other people, and every single one of them that I passed, I said, blessings on your life, just in my head to them. They have no idea that I'm doing that. But I love doing that, especially when I'm having kind of a funky day like that. Just changes all the energy, because it shifts things to being of service and giving blessings on everybody's life. That each of us is here for a reason, as you talk about often. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Everyone have a wonderful week, and let us know how it goes, remembering and repeating that you are infinite love and light, and bringing that through, and sending you strength to do so. Getting crazy with your mic over there, huh, Dad?
Yeah. Just sending out the Kapura, the energy, the chi.
You
Knocked
are.
over the microphone.
Yeah. All right. I also want to remind everyone that that you have a new book coming out in the spring, and pre-orders are available. We'll have that link up on your website, Dr. Tom Pinkson /books, and you can pre-order that, and also just keep sharing Shamanic Sundays so we can keep doing this, and like, follow, all those things you're supposed to do. I'm assuming you all know how to do all that at this point in our techie world. So thanks again for sharing, showing up, and you, Poppy, and Dad, and all of you who join us live, and for those of you who watch it and listen at other times. And we love hearing from you. It's so nice getting your emails, sharing what this brings up for you. So keep showing up, sharing, and shining your infinite light and love.
Aprios, vaya con Dios.
All right. Take care, everyone.